Hey, what's going on, guys? If you're looking for a tracker, a budget tracker to help you with your traveling, this is what we've created for ourselves. So there is a free budget template, budget tracker template down in the description below. So feel free to grab that. If you already grabbed it, you're here for the tutorial. So I'm going to be running through everything, basically to give you some clarity on how to use it, how we use it. And yeah, I'm just going to dive straight into it. So basically, this is what you're seeing here is it. I've also got a daily tracker on the side here, and I've got a daily tracker guide, which is basically a step-by-step on how to use it. So if you're more of a reader, and this is how you learn, and this is how you take in information, you've got that. But for the visual people, that's what this video is for. So what we're going to do is we're going to start over here. Let me just change this to location 1 and then change this. Okay, so you've got this here first. So basically the way that we're doing our budgeting is that if you come over to the left here, you'll see the travel budget. So what we've done is we're saving $40,000 to leave for a year pretty much. And we've wanted to organize first, what do we definitely need to spend? So things like your flights, accommodation, travel insurance. So for us, our flights are roughly $7,500, our accommodation $5,000, and our travel insurance is $1,500, more or less. And that leaves us $26,000. The next step is you want to figure out, okay, from that $26,000 or whatever your budget you're left with, how much of that can we spend per week, or can you spend per week? So get out your calculator, and for us it would be 26,000 divided by 12, because this whole template is based on a 12-month period. You can change the time to that. I'll explain that a little bit later. So if you're just traveling for 6 months, we can change that to 6 months. But for now, we'll stick with 12 months. So we're dividing that by 12 and then divide that by 4 to get the week, how much we're going to spend per week. And that works out to be $541. But we're going to divide that again by 2 because there's 2 of us, myself and Dilly. So if you're traveling as a couple, this is what you would do. So divide that by 2, and we're left with $270.83, but I'm just going to round that down to 270. So for up here, I'll put in my name. Down here, I'll put Dilly. Oh, shit. Then down here, put Dilly. And our spendings are going to be 270 and 270. And as you can see over here in the total budget for the 12 months, it works out to be 25,920, which is pretty close to 26,000. And that's because I rounded down for the weekly. So at the moment, we're under budget. Now that you've done this, you come across to the right and you'll see a list of categories of different costs and expenses that you will come across on your travels. And from this point on, what I'm going to do now is come down here to the different tabs that you see down here and come to the daily tracker. Now this daily tracker is basically a table, a tracker for the month. So you can see over to the left here, you'll have all of your categories, which you saw them listed over in the budget template here. And then so you've got all those, and then you've got the days all the way up to a month. You are able to put in at the end of each day how much you've spent on a certain category. So for example, restaurants and cafes, let's say that we spent $50. Then the next day we spent $25. Next day we spent $30. Next day we spent $40. Then $50, $25, $26. Oh, that put 245 there. 25. You get the idea. And then you come across to the right here, you'll see $246. So it's totaling up everything that I'm putting in here. And then at the end of each month, you will have all of your totals. So for example, $246. Let's say that we spent that amount for the entire month. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna come back over to your template, your budget template, where we've inputted our weekly spendings, and we're gonna get our calculator and we're gonna go $246 was what we spent for the entire month on food, or restaurants and cafes, and you get to divide that by 4. And we got $61.50. So then you would put in $61.50. And you can see here that that's come up to, for the month, $246. Fortnightly, $123. And then you'll see at the bottom, it minus, so that the total here of all your categories, because we've only got $61, that's the total there. It's minus that from your weekly spendings. So our weekly spendings is $540 minus the 61, we're left with $478.50. So now we can go ahead and fill all these in as if you're at the end of the month and you're filling in all the columns. So for visas, let's say you spent $200 for visas when you came in. So that works out to be about $50 per week. Transportation, let's say another 50, gym membership, 50 as well. Scooter bike rental for the week is maybe like 20. Let's say as well for a tour and activity, you did a tour and that was a bit more pricey, so $250. So right now at the moment, we are under budget by $58. Like we have $58, almost $60 of savings. And let's say we've just ended our week here. We know that we can have $60 that we can trickle over into the next week. And for the month, if we've looked at all our spendings, we see that we're $234 under budget. So this way you can actually track and see how much savings you have. So for your next location, you can probably allocate that savings to the new location. But okay, what if you're not traveling for 12 months? What if you're only traveling for 6 months, for example? I'll show you how to change everything to suit you and to tailor to your travels. So we're just going to delete, going to take away everything that we've put in here very quickly. But we'll keep this is still our budget. So instead of 12 months, we're going to change this to 6 months. And what you do here is you double click this little box and you want to change that 12 to 6. You want to change this to 6 as well. And now if we do the new formula of the new equation, which is now $26,000 divided by 6, and then again divided by 4, we're left with 1,083. And again, I'm going to divide that by 2 because we're a couple. You're left with $541, but I'm going to round down to $540 each. So 540, and then 540 for Dilly. And now you can see here the total for 6 months is our budget. Just a little bit under because I rounded down. So $25,920. And now with that, if we put in all of our, oh sorry, before I do that, because you've changed this to 6 months, you've now got to change this to 6 months as well. And you go ahead and do the exact same. Change all the formulas to $6. I'm going to go ahead and do this now. And then down the very bottom here, just change that. And then this middle one here as well. Okay, so now that that's all changed, you can then put in what you've spent per month. Groceries, 50. Let's say you splurged a little bit. 100 a week on massages and getting your nails done. And maybe you did a bit of shopping as well, 50 bucks. Co-working spaces for those who are working. Entrance fees, 20. Bottled water, 25. Okay, so now you can see that all of this is minusing from your weekly budget of $1,080 as a couple. It's now minus that and you're left with 585. You can see that you're well and truly under budget. Yeah, and that's basically how you do everything. Now down the bottom here, I've been doing everything in this second location tab too, but I want to let you know that you're going to have a template for each location that you go to. So for example, this first one would be Lombok, which is where we're going. And then you can rename this one to your next destination, which is for us going to be Malaysia. And then we're going to Spain after that. And then after Spain, we're going to London. From there, we're going back to Spain. Going back to Spain, too. And then here, I think after that, we're going to Japan. And if you need to, you can just right click and duplicate. And it'll come up with another sheet, another template, another blank template. But just make sure that you duplicate before you fill in everything. So you can duplicate the blank template across. And that's basically it, guys. If you have any questions about this entire thing, hit me up, let me know in the comments down below, or just reach out on Instagram at Cameron_McDonald. I want to thank you for downloading this and creating your own version. I hope that this helps you stay on top of things, stay on top of your budget throughout your travels. If you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're going to be dropping a lot more travel related content. I also, in the future, I want to talk about time management, how I've managed to work with time and organize myself to make sure that I get content out to achieve my goals and my dreams of traveling full time. And if you've been watching this video and you don't have this template yet, this budget template, the free template is down in the description below. Just go ahead, click on that, and you can get yourself a copy. With all that said, I'm Cameron. Let's get off the fence and travel, and I'll catch you in the next one.